It's time once again for Death Stranding. And here we are in Hartman's bouncy castle. We learned that he has padded floors in case he doesn't make it in time to his bed. For, actually, I guess it looked like it might be actually a chase lounge. Chaise lounge? And for some reason, all of our stuff is here. Ah. That would be because we had to take the body off. And anyway, he wanted us... Oh, nice fireplace there. Seems a bit wasteful, doesn't it? Does it? It stays on through all hours of the day. Maybe it's just fake. No, I think it's intended to be a real fire. This looks like that famous little landmark from a cave somewhere that had some very ancient handprints. That might be just what that is. We've got some skulls. Truly a man of science. So we're supposed to take on an order.
Our ultimate objective in this region is to build a replacement for a way station that was lost to the tar. The first step is to put a shelter with our scientists on the chiral network. Now, we don't know the first thing about Emily's status or what Higgs is up to. Now, that's a concern for us as much as you. But we won't know more until we get to Edge Knot City. And that means connecting this region first. You should start with the geologist and the paleontologist. The latter's holding something for the Evo-Devo biologist, so I recommend you save her for last. That way, you can finish a delivery and link up the final site in one go. Once all three are on the grid, come back here. Then we can get to work on the replacement for that lost way station.
Really? We can do all of them in one go? Has there ever been a time in this game where that has been a good idea? I don't think so. Do we really want to handle with care? Yeah, I don't like our chances. So we have to... It is really on the way. It's tempting. I will give him that. The terrain situation here does not look good, though. Well, let's see. So, if we go from the geologist to the paleontologist, how does that change our route? Doesn't really. We would probably go down to this low elevation area and just kind of, well, relatively lower, and then we'll have to make our way down here. Handle with care, avoid impact. Well, it's not like the pizza where it has to remain flat, at least. And the game was subtly hinting that we should do this. We should do these together, so why don't we just give it a try?
You've been tasked with delivering chiralium scrubbing agents to a geologist of ours. He's been exposed to dangerous levels of chiralium during his latest excavation, and is exhibiting all the associated symptoms. The strata he's dug into apparently contains a fossil beach dating back to the end of the Cretaceous period. Now, I'm told that could be a significant discovery should it be confirmed. But we'll never know for sure if he can't decontaminate the site and carry on with his work. A paleontologist of ours needs an antimatter bomb for an important excavation. Seems the strata he's attempting to reach is beneath a layer of tar, and he has no choice but to resort to drastic measures. The bomb is safely secured in its case, but if you're careless and break the damn thing, you know what'll happen. A paleontologist of ours needs an antimatter. A geologist of ours has been studying fossils as part of his research into prehistoric extinction events. He's been out there conducting excavations for a while now and has begun to suffer the effects of chiral contamination. No doubt the result of excessive exposure to chiralium during the dig. Until the site is properly decontaminated, his work can't proceed. Nor will his health improve. So we need you to bring him some chiralium scrubbing agents.
The stratum the team was investigating dates from the end of the Cretaceous period, the time of the infamous mass extinction, which brought the reign of the dinosaurs to a close, leaving small mammals to inherit the Earth. It's the most recent of the Big Five, and one of the largest mass extinctions the world has ever seen. In any event, our team found something truly remarkable. Can you guess what it was? A fossil beach. If that is indeed what it is, then he has made a tremendous discovery. Therefore, Sam, it is essential that you deliver those chiralium scrubbing agents as soon as possible.
One more thing, Sam. For this run, you'll be transporting an antimatter bomb. A Bridges paleontologist working on a dig says he needs it. Apparently, the fossils he wants to study are buried deep beneath tar, and the only way he can get to them is by blowing it wide open. Now, hopefully I don't need to tell you to be extra careful when handling high-yield explosives. But in case I do, make sure you keep that container in one piece, no matter what. Thermal pad. Indispensable gear for cold weather operations, especially useful when traversing snow-capped mountains.
Well, we'd better go ahead and use that. Every time I venture out, I wonder if this is the trip where we won't be able to take the trike.
Sam, I'm sure you haven't forgotten, but you need to be extremely careful with that antimatter bomb, especially when transporting it by a carrier or vehicle. Any irregularities should trigger an alarm. Don't ignore it.
Put it on the trike for now, I guess. We need to attach this to our suit, I think, in order for it to actually do anything. This is not going to be the final loadout. This is a complete mess. So I will make an attempt at some sort of loadout that makes sense. Not sure how much space we have left on the trike. Let's take things off of the trike first. We definitely... Well, I'm not sure if we definitely want it on the trike. We want it for now. Let's offload these. And put all the quest stuff that we can. What do you know? It all fits. Seems about max capacity. And, oh, I guess some stuff didn't fit. not carried. Okay, what do we have in terms of defenses? We've got enough grenades for sure. 2 assault rifles and a good supply of blood bags. We have that PCC, some ladders. Oh. Climbing anchor, there we go. Well. No, I want to confirm. It might not be optimal. Might not pan out, but it's a start. Now we have to be careful with the antimatter bomb, as was mentioned. Let's plot a tentative course. I already have one issue, which is this thing is not fully charged. Funny. There's a sign that says P ban. Well, we do have the ability to pee, which we've not exercised so far. Sam hasn't used the bathroom for a very, very long time. I don't see a generator, so I keep being surprised that there aren't generators in the vicinity. Is there even a... This we don't even have like a home. So I'm going to... We already have a PCC. I want to save that. So I'm just going to build one. Build it and use it somewhere.
Good morning, Sam.
Oh.
Sam, so Hartley told you all about the lake. How the attack that created it changed his life forever. Not only did he lose his family, he very nearly lost himself. For 21 minutes, he was in a state of cardiopulmonary arrest. Under normal circumstances, he would have died. Therapeutic hypothermia saved his life. But the 21 minutes he spent on the other side had a lasting effect on him. Perhaps due to the shock, his Doom's abilities seem to have increased. And now he takes every opportunity to walk the beach in search of his family.
My apologies, Sam. You came all this way to visit me, yet I neglected to give you a proper farewell. Do be careful out there. As I mentioned before, this region is rich in memories of death and extinction. It should come as no surprise that BTs are sighted here more frequently. Perhaps you recall the models in my lab. Their designs were all based on eyewitness accounts. Though I suppose they must have struck you as strange, considering the many times you've come face to face with the real McCord.
It's gonna get hit by timefall. Well, we're not gonna be using it for that long.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Pleasant journey. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Have a pleasant journey.
Oh right, we have infinite battery. I'm sure that I'm missing something because... Was it really the case that nobody needed a generator? So why isn't there another player-built one already? Okay, so... Oh yeah, I better clear all this stuff. From here, trying to take a route that looks like it's passable. Oh. Well, if we go this way, we'll have to eventually come up over here. What if instead we go over here and we try to avoid climbing the big mountain? That looks somewhat promising. At least for the first leg of this journey. Why is the battery icon glowing?
Easy.
Damaged by vibration. What vibration? We're driving on snow. I'm not sure if I made this comment last time we had an antimatter bomb, but this reminds me of those... Some car insurance companies, you could get a device that would give you a safe driving discount on your car insurance. And it would beep anytime you drove in a way that was deemed not safe. It was basically an accelerometer. And it seemed to be very temperamental, even things like speeding up and slowing down at a traffic light. Drove right between them. So much so that it felt like you were actually less safe trying to drive in a way that this infernal machine deemed to be safe. Just wanted to check our antimatter bomb. Absolutely fine. In retrospect, I probably should have taken a container spray. Oh, wow. Now this is a whiteout condition. I don't think we've encountered this so far.
Shit! Ah!
Cargo almost ruined. It's fine. It's not fine. We might have to restart. Those rocks really screwed us. Well, let's do this. Let's leave this here so we don't risk damaging it. Complete the quest that we have right now. Yes, we're gonna be quite heavy. Well, you know, it's a tall stack, but we carry it with not too much of an issue.
Scanning bridges ID. Fragile Express ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until...
Sam Bridges. Oh, thank God for that. I was worried you might not get here in time. But then I've done nothing but worry of late. I've been haunted by those visions you doom sufferers see. That end of days stuff. I put the nightmares down to fatigue. The possibility of chiral contamination never even occurred to me. It's just lucky we caught it before the suicidal stage. Dying's not an option. My research is nowhere near complete. It's not just my life you're saving here. It's my life's work. I started to wonder if I'd ever see these meds. I guess you really are good at what you do, huh? Thank you. Oh, yes. Right then. If you'd do the honors. And just like that, I'm part of the UCA, with access to a treasure trove of historical research materials. Studying this fossil beach should be a good deal easier now, assuming I can prove once and for all that that's what it is. Honestly, though, I'm just excited I can finally share these findings with everyone. Can you believe I found chiral deposits in strata dating back 65.5 million years? Evidence of an ancient death stranding.
Chiral matter has existed on Earth since long before the dawn of man. This stratum is proof of that. Look at this, Sam. Do you see that black fissure there? We believe this is the source of the Chiralian readings. In the distant past, earthquakes cause frictional melting along fault lines, producing layers of what is known as pseudotaculite. We call these layers fossil earthquakes. Extending the principle, our fissure here is what one might term a fossil beach. The presence of chiralium in this of all strata cannot be a mere coincidence. It strongly suggests that beaches must have appeared during the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. And not just then. The chiral network has recovered data suggesting that similar fossil beaches were discovered in strata corresponding to other extinction events too. That would seem to indicate the Big Five and all other major extinctions were accompanied by the appearance of beaches. In expanding the chiral network, you've helped us glimpse a pattern in these scattered points of data. You've furthered our individual research projects and ensured that it is only a matter of time before we recover all we have lost and solve every mystery that remains. But this is only the beginning. See this through, Sam, and there's no telling what we might learn.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
So we've got an antimatter bomb that's just about to explode. Gonna make a safety save. We will try our best. Try our best to get to the paleontologist, but I'm not hopeful. It might be safer to go on foot. But yeah, this little bumpy area here with the whiteout conditions really really screwed us. What if we go here? That looks promising. I'm thinking that we have to not go. We have to not take the trike. My thinking is we go here. Okay, and I'll save again just so I don't lose my path. I'm not sure what happens if it breaks. Like, we might end up having to go do the quest again.
You can do it.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
So it's pretty heavy. We could offload some things. 190, half of that is like what? We have to get below 100. So I don't think that's going to happen. I want this stuff in case. Well, I'm going to not leave it on the trike though. Yeah, we're not walking our fastest. The all-terrain stuff is really helpful though.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID.
Yeah, and it also mentioned it's kind of my fault for deciding to take
All weapons will be locked.
the thing on the trike because
Welcome, Sam Porter.
it mentioned that I'm just gonna assume it's not gonna be enough though. This thing is just so heavy. Yeah, let's just give up on that. It warned us that going on foot like this was, or like that going on a trike was especially dangerous with this kind of cargo. So that's cool. Just lets you have more anchors and it's more durable. What I wanted was container repair. Give us a little bit more of a fighting chance at making it there. And I wanted to charge up my suit. I didn't see any charging stations. So I'll build another PCC. I always like to have a spare PCC. So let's just give ourselves a good spray. Actually, I want to target only the antimatter bomb, so we'll offload it for... I keep pressing B to go back. I know I'm not supposed to do that. Aim and fire. Should tell us when its container is repaired. I thought it would. It wasn't fully repaired. We'll print up another one, I guess. We can afford it. We'll wait to recycle it until we do the next one. Oh. Okay. Menus and menus and menus. There we go. It actually tells us. Oh, we might as well use the rest of this can on ourselves. Maybe more people would recycle if they didn't have to sit through that horrid, unskippable cutscene. It's slightly skippable, but the first part of it isn't skippable.
Thank you.
Just a thought.
For your contribution.
Okay. Off we go. Oh yes, and the PCC.
Sam,
To charge my
you think a
suits.
prep roll that you built on their property, you're sorely mistaken.
Oh,
The sim
nothing in range.
It's a ring marks their claim, so pick a spot outside of it.
Safe travels.
What's sensor ring? Oh, it's the posts.
Weapons restrictions lifted. Keep on keeping on. Construction complete.
Charging up.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridge.
Oh, and we have a little bit extra energy because of the
All weapons will be locked.
heating pack. It actually acts as a battery.
Well,
Just wanted to save. I know I've made a billion saves, but I keep doing things that I don't want to do again when we inevitably fail.
Sam Porter Bridges.
Whoa. Where's our starting point? Somewhere over here. Slow and steady. I feel like these holograms are probably some sort of late game spoiler, but
Restrictions lifted.
what can you do? So it's good that we also learned it's easier to prevent damage to fragile cargo if we're going on foot. Yeah, this is generally where we wanted to go. There's A1. Well, we can cut the path short. We can even go down here to B2. Potentially. we may have to break out the climbing anchor, something I haven't done in a very long time. Trying to see what our options are for a route down. Try not to pick up too much momentum. Although it seems like the suit is helping us maintain our footing. That's not what you want to do. I was curious if we could slide. And if it would be beneficial. It could be if I was sure it wasn't going to count as vibration. I'd be okay with it. Oh, we're definitely going to hit up that shelter. Absolutely. Because it's free container repair spray. Okay, let's take a look at the timefall forecast. See if waiting around is going to be beneficial. No. It's frankly pathetic that they gave us the ability to wait out the timefall, but I have never so far seen a case where it would be beneficial to wait. So looks like we're in for a long one. Hey, we can save. I didn't realize we could save mid-mission. I thought we could only save at stations. Well, now that I know we can save anywhere, expect a lot more saves coming from me. Like now. guess I thought that we couldn't save anywhere because I remember trying to save at one point and it was blocked. But I think it was because we were in the middle of some scripted sequence. Well, I gotta say, gotta be real careful here.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges.
I gotta say, I wasn't expecting to make it here.
Weapons detected.
We didn't have to load a save even once.
Cargo verified. Thank you.
But the fact that we could load a save definitely let some of the pressure off. I really wish I would have known that sooner in this game.
Much appreciated, friend. Thanks to you, we can finally move ahead with the dig. I swear, this place is bad enough without having to worry about getting asphyxiated. Or did you just get lucky? It's clear you and the landscape got pretty well acquainted. You want to be more careful. You can set up the chiral network while I work. Anyway, as it turns out, Sam Bridges, I have a favor to ask. A local porter was on his way here with something very valuable, but dropped it en route. It's a 200-million-year-old ammonite, which looks, he says, almost as if it were still alive. He apparently stumbled across it in a boulder field, which had previously been hidden beneath a glacier, but that's not the half of it. The man claims this ammonite has an umbilical cord. An umbilical cord. Color me skeptical, but the specimen merits study, and I wasn't about to leave such delicate work to an amateur. So I asked him to carve out the whole surrounding chunk of rock and bring it here to me. Naturally, I wanted to compare it with contemporary specimens in the vicinity, which is why I had him excavate a number of those in addition to the one he told me about. But what does the dumb fuck go and do? He loses the whole shipment. Didn't even have the good sense to mark which container had the ammonite with the umbilical cord. The cargo was supposedly lost in the area to the southwest, where toxic gases have a tendency to build up. Old Mr. Reliable claims his cargo scanner is broken, and there's no way he can recover the shipment. But you could track it down. To protect you against the fumes, I'll provide you with an oxygen mask. Just to be safe. You can pick it up when you accept the order.
That fossil could represent an epochal discovery. While there are examples of viviparous fish, an ammonite with an umbilical cord is unheard of. And if it is indeed 200 million years old, it would also correspond with the end Triassic extinction, another one of the big five. Could the umbilical cord be connected to the beach? We must recover that cargo at all costs. It could provide a vital clue to the mechanisms underpinning the Death Stranding. We're so close. So very, very close to grasping the true nature of the phenomenon. Hurry, Sam. We cannot risk that ammonite being lost.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal.
So we made it. We managed to not set off the bomb.
For further information.
Not our best order, but very importantly, we learned that we can save anywhere we want to. So that's huge for me. I wish I would have known earlier in the game. It would have lightened a little bit of the pressure off. Let's catch up on a few emails before we go. Chiral Nightmares. Dear Sam, thanks to you, the chiral contamination's all cleared up. Nasty symptoms, though. Dizziness, headaches, insomnia. At first I was worried it was all down to my isolation in this shelter and the intense focus on my research for the past year, but it got real bad when the nightmares started. I saw the end of the world, a portal to the beach opening, and BTs pouring through by the thousands. There was nowhere to run, no time, and they began scooping us up one by one, and then the Voidouts came, bigger and bigger until a massive one, or several massive ones, enveloped the whole world, and poof, just like that. When I told Hartman about it, he likened it to the visions of extinction dooms sufferers tend to experience. It's strange, though. After all, we now have incontrovertible proof that chiralium is far from a recent addition to our world. Anyway, that's a problem for a different day. The important thing is that I'm cured, and it's all thanks to you. The Craftsman. BTs that aren't affected by your blood? How are things, Sam? Have you hit the coast yet? You can't be far off, I'll bet. You'll be pleased to hear that the local porters are doing their best in your absence, and those hematic grenades you brought are making a huge difference. Speaking of all things hematic, though, we received a report that suggests there are some BTs out there that aren't affected by your blood. The BT in question glowed bright red, apparently, and the poor porter who ran into it barely lived to tell this tale. He'd brought plenty of hematic grenades with him, but they didn't seem to do the trick. As you can imagine, this is a seriously concerning development. I mean, your blood was the only weapon we had against those things. What are we supposed to do now? Sure, they're bound to have some kind of vulnerability we can exploit, but how many of us are going to have to die finding out what might be? Anyway, consider yourself warned, Sam. Be careful out there, okay? And the Spiritualist, a snapshot of ages past. Sam, do you recall the handprint you brought me? Well, I hope you're sitting down, because when I analyzed it, I discovered that it was 65 million years old. It dates back to the late Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs became extinct. I did fear that perhaps it was just the rock, and the handprint itself had been added much later, but that seems not to be the case. Could someone have traveled through time via the beach in order to leave it? If not, how could it possibly have been made? I plan to look into the matter further, and will get in touch when I learn more. If you happen to stumble across anything that might shed light on this mystery, you'll let me know too, won't you? Some data. Interview with the geologist. I remember it was just before I joined the expedition when I found those documents in Bridges HQ, research papers that predated the Death Stranding. People used to believe that dinosaurs had gone extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period 65 million years ago, but when this fellow investigated various locations where late Cretaceous dino fossils had been found, he came to the startling conclusion that there was hardly any evidence, anywhere on Earth, that supported the theory that dinosaurs had survived until the end of the Cretaceous. In other words, almost all of them had been wiped out long before that. The only place where there were fossils that did support the traditional theory was here in North America, which suggested that this was the last part of the Earth to have been inhabited by dinosaurs. Not everyone agreed with this analysis at the time, but let's say he had it right. That would mean that there is evidence of a mass extinction hidden here, right beneath our feet, evidence which could prove invaluable in understanding the one on the horizon. Did the dinosaurs who happened to live here just get lucky? Or is there something special about this place that allowed them to survive? I'd love to get to the bottom of it, but I'm not sure I have what it takes. I'm not like Hartman. I don't have dooms or any other unique traits. Still, I want to make myself useful. I want to research the Stranding and help uncover the truth behind it. That's why I joined the expedition team, after all. And interview with paleontologist. In the period since the very first forms of life arose here on Earth, the planet has witnessed a number of mass extinctions, and as you're no doubt aware, the most significant of these are known as the Big Five. The first marked the end of the Ordovician period, while the next, at the end of the Devonian period, wiped out almost all marine life. But the third of these extinction, at the end of the Permian period around 250 million years ago, was even worse. 96% of all marine organisms and 70% of land organisms died as a result. The fourth extinction finished off most large reptiles, though the dinosaurs managed to hold on until the fifth came along at the end of the Cretaceous period 65 million years ago. We humans are evolved from the small mammals which managed to survive that particular catastrophe. Each of these 5 extinctions resulted from enormous changes to the natural environment. Species which were unable to adapt to these changes perished, while those which were ideally situated to evolve and thrive did just that. Evidence from records which predate the Death Stranding indicate that many scholars believed a 6th mass extinction was on its way, or that it may have already begun. There was something of a consensus regarding its cause as well, humanity's destruction of the environment. This led them to sound the alarm, warning the world of what was at stake. At the time, the greatest minds of the era believed that if the ecosystem could be preserved, and if humanity could learn to live in harmony with nature, then a future could be secured for all the world's species, humans included. But that was then, and this is now. If the phenomenon we are currently experiencing is indeed the 6th extinction, then it must be acknowledged that humanity is its main target. Is this divine punishment for our misdeeds? If so, then I suppose there is little that can be done. Perhaps there is no way forward for humanity now. Nevertheless, I refuse to give up. I will endeavor to find hope in our predicament. I think we will stop here and be back next time with more Death Stranding. Bye for now.